Hello, everyone, and good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're joining us. Welcome to our webinar this afternoon. We are pleased that you are here. You might now hear us. There's always a lady at the beginning telling you that this webinar will be recorded. So we are really happy that you join us today for this live session where we're going to talk about innovation and the trending topic AI. And we then want to talk about how we can combine those two. And together with me here in the webinar is Peter. Welcome, Peter.
Thanks, Hannah. Appreciate it.
Peter, from where are you joining us today?
I'm joining from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Nice. So we have an international webinar here because I'm based in Munich, as you might know, innosabi. Also, our office is here in Munich, and we're spread around the world. And we're happy that you are joining us today from wherever you are. Feel free to use the chat, hop in your location, maybe also the time, what it is for you. For me, it's now 4 p.m. I think, Peter, for you, it's morning, right?
It is. It's 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah, that's quite okay. All right, then I would say we have a couple of people who are already joined. We wait maybe 30 more seconds, and then I would directly hand it over to you, Peter.
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready, that's good. Let me see who is already here. We have a couple of people here, so I would say let's appreciate the people who have been on time, and then I hand it over to you. Stage is yours. I'm happy that you're going to share our vision about innovation and AI.
Okay, thank you, Hannah. Normally, if you ever meet with me in person or you see me present live, I tell a lot of jokes. But in this format where I can't see you or hear you, I tend to not tell very many because I can't get a reaction. And so I don't know if my jokes are falling flat or not. So don't expect a whole bunch of that today, but what I hope you do find is some relevant information to both your post at work and hopefully for the organization as a whole. Now, we designed AI to enhance the human expertise. From idea creation to decision making, our solutions keep people in the driver's seat while AI accelerates the journey. We believe at innosabi that humans are still the center of innovation. We believe AI should amplify human creativity and not replace it. So our tools integrate seamlessly into your innovation process, helping you move faster, make smarter decisions, and unlock more value from every day. Now, you saw the title of the presentation. It's the Innovation Roadmap for 2026. So like Hannah said, just like to welcome everybody. So glad that you're here with us today. Now let's start with maybe the tension that many innovation leaders are feeling right now. Budgets are tightening, teams are shrinking, headlines suggesting that AI might make entire departments obsolete. Now, over the last year, according to Forbes, we saw well over 100,000 tech layoffs, thousands of companies announcing cuts as they rebalance and push into AI. So it's only fair to ask, will innovation still matter in 2026? Or will AI do the work for us? But here's the part that isn't getting enough attention. While some organizations are scaling back, the need for innovation hasn't gone away, but the approach is changing. So innovation is not dying. It's evolving into something more structured, more connected, and more intelligent. And so today, I'll share what that evolution looks like and how to prepare your innovation management for it. So when most people think about innovation, they think about moonshots, radical breakthroughs, maybe the next iPhone. And yes, those things matter, but the reality is that inside most global organizations, that most innovation isn't disruptive, it's incremental. And incremental innovation done consistently over time is what protects competitive edge. So fixing a recurring defect, improving workflow, efficiencies, reducing scrap rates by 2%, shortening onboarding time. So individually, those improvements may feel small, but collectively, they're transformative. And this brings us into maybe a real world scenario. So if you want to imagine with me a global manufacturing company with 5 or 6 plants worldwide, different suppliers, different regulatory environments, different process realities. So leadership starts noticing drift. Product quality isn't consistent across the regions. Now, it's not catastrophic, but it is noticeable. So what do? They launch a coordinated innovation challenge. We need root causes, ideas, and solutions from every plant. Maybe they even bring suppliers in. Now, this is the moment where innovation either becomes powerful or painfully chaotic. Without structure, ideas arrive through email, spreadsheets, hallway conversations, and disappearing comment threads. So patterns exist, but no one can see them. Solutions exist, but they stay local. And knowledge exists, but lives in people, not systems. At this point, someone, usually a well-intentioned executive, inevitably says, why can't we just throw AI at the problem? Well, that's a good question. AI can do a lot here. It can analyze defect logs, maybe supplier performance, process data, maintenance notes, all at scale. It's fast and it's powerful. But, and this is the key, AI can only work with accessible information. What exists in databases, reports, structured logs, documented systems. There's an entire second category of knowledge that never lives in a database, non-accessible information. The operator who says, we switched material 3 months ago and ever since we need 5 minutes longer cooling time. Or the engineer who remembers, well, we tried this idea years ago. The failure wasn't technical, it was regulatory. Maybe procurement, a lead who says, we can't change that supplier mid-year because of a compliance obligation. That's the non-negotiable human layer, institutional knowledge. And AI doesn't know what humans haven't bothered to write down. If you see my graphic here, that's supposed to be represented by the iceberg, that 10% above the water that we see, that's the accessible information at times. And all the rest, that institutional knowledge is below the surface. So the question isn't as simple as, can't AI solve this for us? And the answer isn't AI or humans. As we've discussed on previous webinars, it's a combination of the two, letting each do what they're best at. AI structures the noise while humans provide the meaning. Horizontal and vertical innovation. So to make this intuitive, let's introduce a simple framework. There are 2 layers to modern innovation. We have vertical innovations. So this is very specific, targeted, analytical. This is where AI agents thrive, maybe running compliance research, checking certifications, SOC 2 certified, I certified, scanning internal policy, analyzing supplier data, synthesizing submissions. These are deep dives, task-driven and precise. But then there's this horizontal layer. This is community, collaboration, creativity. This is the space where plants share best practices, teams contribute ideas, patterns and root causes emerge, tacit knowledge becomes visible. This is a layer where not only do people discuss the problem, propose solutions and share insights, but they're able to build on each other's thinking. This is where innovation culture lives. And here's the key evolution in 2026. Most companies only operate vertically, and then they wonder why progress feels slow. The future, the roadmap, is about connecting both. But it's even more than that. We no longer operate a single horizontal layer, we run multiple in parallel. In the past, innovation was sequential. One challenge, one group, one timeline. But organizations today have multiple priorities at once. Sustainability, customer experience, digital transformation, cost optimization, quality control, new product development. Instead of lining these up like dominoes, the future model is multiple horizontal innovation tracks running simultaneously, each supported by AI-driven vertical workflows. Now, this transforms innovation from a single project into an ecosystem. So in this model, knowledge flows across initiatives, insights cross-pollinate, redundancy decreases, breakthroughs accelerate, incremental wins scale faster. And importantly, leadership finally gets visibility across everything, not just isolated reports. So maybe we can have a visual metaphor here. So if we think of a subway map, if you want a mental picture, just imagine that the horizontal lines are the innovation tracks, employee engagement, challenge participation, knowledge exchange. The vertical stations are where AI goes deep: research, analysis, clustering, feasibility checks. And then the transfer stations are where the lines intersect. That's where breakthrough happens. That's the magic. So multiple trains are moving at the same time, and that's not chaos, it's coordination. And it's not randomness, it's designed flow. So what does this mean for innovation leaders? It means, as you've always known, your role isn't to personally solve every challenge in an organization. Your role is to create the environment where challenges are visible, engage the right people at the right time, use AI to accelerate everything that slows innovation down, and orchestrate a system, not run a project. You're the inventor. You're not the inventor. You're not the gatekeeper. What you are is the architect of the whole ecosystem, the one designing how innovation flows, which, if you ask me, is pretty damn important. So as we look toward 2026, the takeaway is pretty simple. Innovation isn't being replaced by AI, it's being augmented by it, accelerated, structured, democratized. Organizations that win won't choose between ideas or execution, humans or AI, incremental or breakthrough. They'll build systems where all those elements work together continuously. And that's exactly where platforms like innosabi fit, connecting collaboration, knowledge sharing, and AI-powered workflows into a single innovation ecosystem. That's the roadmap. Because the future isn't innovation or AI, it's innovation powered by AI and guided by humans who know how to use it. If we look at PMC's emerging research, what it shows us is that AI usage can boost employee innovation behavior when people feel more capable and supported, not replaced. So let's take a look at how innosabi accomplishes that through IDEA, our platform for employee engagement and collaboration. Let me just share a little live look here into the product. So as I mentioned, this is going to be IDEA, one of our 3 collaboration platforms. This is an internal platform for employee engagement. You'll see, hey, Peter. So this is personalized for each one of the users that comes to the site. You'll see current challenges that are being put out there by the organization that are actively looking for submission ideas. And here you see under idea management, this is where I can just go and submit any idea. And that's where I'm going to click today. Just want to show you something that we call submission AI. So the purpose behind submission AI and what we're going to talk about and where the AI lines up with what we just mentioned with PMC's research, where how can we help our employees feel capable and supported? So with this tool, the first barrier in innovation a lot of times is just getting ideas submitted clearly and consistently. And submission AI isn't just a way for collecting ideas, it's going to actively improve them. So if someone starts typing an idea into submission, the form that you see on your screen, the AI will offer suggestions, highlight missing elements, recommend improvements based on similar ideas, maybe even help rephrase ideas to make them clearer and more complete. So let's start one here. When I was younger, I spent a lot of time on construction sites. So maybe what I want to talk about here is a first aid station on the work site. What happens when somebody gets hurt? It would be nice if the workers had access to first aid through a mobile dispensary. So what are we talking about there? Well, on a lot of job sites, a portable toilet shows up, right? But there aren't always other things accessible. Sometimes drinking water or food. If you don't bring in enough lunch and you're hungry, but you're out in the boonies working on a site, you're out of luck until the end of the day, or maybe you get a long lunch break. Looking at first aid the same way. You know, it would be nice if we had access to a mobile dispensary. And so what's going to happen here is so I come up with an idea, and then I type in, or I start to type in my thought. And you'll see the AI working, and it's saying, okay, now hold on. Describe how the idea makes employees' lives easier. You'll see that here. Explain how the idea can improve efficiency or optimize products. It's telling me that I have a little bit of a well-structured idea. This is great. So what happens a lot of times when our employees want to submit an idea is that they don't necessarily know where to start. And if you've been on the innovation team, if you're in innovation management and you've received tens, hundreds, thousands of ideas, one of the biggest problems is receiving something that's actually actionable. It's not a complete fleshed out thought. And if we're asking our employees to engage and take the time to fill this out, we want to make sure that they feel heard, that they feel supported. And so what this is doing, what Submission AI does, is exactly that. It helps me think about what I'm putting in here. Okay, so how is it going to make the employees' lives easier? And so as I start to flesh out my idea more, it can ask more questions. Now, from the innovation management standpoint, or from a department head standpoint, I can actually go to the AI prompts and I can ask for specific information. Maybe for every submission that comes in, I'm going to ask something like, besides the basics, hey, here's how to fill it out completely, I could ask for even more specific information like, all right, well, what are the implications going to be on budget or time frame or anything like that I want to do? And what the result is higher quality submissions right from the start. You're going to have less duplication. It's going to pop up any ideas that are similar and let me know, hey, we've seen something like this before. And then also contributors are going to feel confident with their idea in the fact that they know that it's going to be understood. Not everybody's a wordsmith. Not everybody feels confident sharing their ideas. And actually, if you want to take a further look into this, beyond the idea, you can also anonymously submit this. Now, one of the questions we got before the webinar started was, how does this tool tie into the innosabi platform as it stands? Well, it's there. It's part of it. So the Submission AI, if it's turned on, is going to be any time that one of your end users goes to submit an idea. You'll see these little purple stars. Anytime you see this, it means, hey, there's going to be some AI that's offering suggestions. And so as I get back to my details, like I said, if I feel like I have a good idea, but I'm not super confident, I can remain anonymous. There's anonymity there. I can include teammates so that entire teams can submit this idea together. But the Submission AI portion is just making sure that the idea is well structured, right? And it's built right into the platform. And it's something that what we've seen just really inspires people to not just submit an idea once, but when they feel comfortable, when they feel confident that what they're submitting matters and that it can be understood, then we get them coming back to the platform more often. And that's really what we want. You know, especially if we put out a challenge, it's how many ideas can we bring in? Not just how many ideas, how many good ideas. Again, if it's not something that's fleshed out, not something that's actionable, it gets pushed to the side. And that's what we want to avoid. We want to make sure that, you know, we trust our people, whether blue collar, white collar, frontline worker, executive. If somebody has a thought into how they can solve a challenge, we want to know what that insight is. You know, we talked about that institutional knowledge, the insight that's buried that we don't have access to any other way besides extracting it from the people that carry it inside. And so the more ideas that we can get submitted, the better. And then beyond, when we have a challenge running, if this is just our suggestion box, Again, people that are working, and we're talking now those incremental improvements. So if we're talking about how a process might improve or change, we need that insight. But if people are showing up and they're leaving half-baked ideas and we don't do anything with them, then that's going to discourage workers in the future from coming back. And so really this is a huge step for employee engagement. Now, beyond that, once the ideas start rolling in, AI can add value continually in other ways, maybe through clustering and synthesis. So instead of staring at 500 disconnected submissions, now for you on the back end, the AI groups or clusters related ones automatically. It highlights themes, shows overlaps, and even identifies outliers worth a closer look. This doesn't mean the AI decides what's important, but it gives you a map. It's like having the puzzle pieces pre-sorted by color and edge before you start putting your puzzle together. Now, this alone can save days or even weeks of manual effort. I think a lot of times in the past, as innovation managers, we've been scared to run a challenge because what if 1,000 ideas come in? And what if we still have manual process using spreadsheets where we're trying to track everything and how do we group and cluster? And AI does solve that. And again, it doesn't take the human element out. The human element, the empathy, the creativity, it's all still needed. This is the drudgery. This is the tasks that can be completed efficiently and quickly by a machine that we don't need to get into. So we saw submission AI, which is for the end user, which is for the employee. But we also have a tool built to enhance the experience of the innovation manager or the department head, whoever might be running a challenge, to help ensure that the challenge or initiative that they put together, that they're creating for soliciting this submission, is shaped for success. That's something called creation AI. I'm not going to get into that one today. We'd still love to show you what that looks like. But suffice to say today that, again, not everybody that's getting into this is an English major. And if we want our employees to be engaged, then our content needs to be engaging. And what creation AI can do is help make suggestions for exactly that. That when the challenge goes out, that the description, the details are clear and concise and engaging to get more people to want to participate. It can also do things like automatically set up tags. It can suggest, even if you're looking at the screen, it can suggest different pictures. Again, all about engagement. And then we have some other AI tools that we use on the research side that, again, we'd love to share with you. Probably not going to jump into it today because of time constraints. But what we would like to do is open up the next few minutes for a Q&A. As I mentioned, we did have the one question that came in that said, how does this integrate with the innosabi platform already in existence? And as I mentioned, these are tools that are just built in. They're there. If you are an innosabi platform user and you haven't used them yet, then reach out to your CSM and they can quickly go over best practices and how to use them. If you're new to innosabi, then we also have people standing by that would love to show you the different tools, how to incorporate them, how to leverage them to get the most out of it for the organization as a whole. In terms of, there's a stat that I was just looking at that said, with everybody rushing to AI and trying to incorporate it into their different processes and work, that actually only 5% of the AI that's being instituted is bringing an ROI. And so, yes, AI is exciting, but we also have to understand, well, what are we trying to accomplish? Are we asking too much of it? How do we leverage it? How do we get that ROI? And that's something that our teams can show you, at least with the features and tools that we have built into our platforms, how you can see an immediate response and how you can leverage that to see that ROI and get benefit. Now, with that said, Hannah is the best way to do this, since we're on the webinar piece. I'm assuming if we have questions is to have anybody that's interested put it into the chat.
Yes, That's right. I already messaged it in the chat. So if you want to have a question that you want to ask Peter, as we are here in a podcast mode, you can't speak at you, but you can write, and we can then see them. There's already one question that I would like then to address to you. And I give the chance to all our other listeners. Now is your time to ask Peter your questions that are trending. Let me pull up the first one. It's from Jan, and he says, "Hi Peter, which AI tools?" Which AI tools are you using, and can I use my own AI? So the AI of my company already approved.
Oh, yes. So we use OpenAI, but the opportunity for a company that already has an approved solution to be built in, yes, is something that is there for us. And so, again, without getting too deep into it, we'd love to talk about it, but inside of your own LMs and different systems, that you already have knowledge built in, and our system, the way that we have it built out is to leverage what you currently have. We want to take all of that knowledge. We want to take all of what you have in your databases. And when we talk about, having a repository of old challenges and things that you've tried, and anything that you've built over the years, we want to make sure that we can lean on that and leverage it. And so, yes, we can use whatever system that you've had approved. Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, so this was the only question, but I would then follow up to what you just said, because we hear this often also in the calls. Maybe you can share a little bit about the security of the data. Where is it stored? And also, because the innovation content on the platform, our customers are really concerned about or want to have that really secure. So maybe you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Would love to. In terms of security, and so, we can get into some crazy details about that, but I'll keep it pretty broad today, and just say, so I'll give a little background actually. So innosabi's been around for 14 years, almost 15 years in Europe. As Hannah pointed out, that we're headquartered in Munich. And so just to start by saying, the GDPR compliance, that's a first layer of how do we keep some information safe. But beyond that, in the US, and maybe this is a little name dropping, which is fun, but innosabi works with the DoD and the Air Force and NASA and others. And so we've had to take our security measures to a level that a lot of our competitors haven't had to, because we work with a lot of information that is very sensitive. Now, everybody's information is sensitive, but sometimes when you start talking about government level security measures, that that we've put a lot of things in place, and I have specificities and anything. Again, if you want to jump on and talk with the team member, we can go over exactly what we have in place in terms of keeping your information secure and safe.
Yeah, amazing. I think this is always very important for the people. And yeah, as Peter already has mentioned, if you already use the tools, then feel free to reach out to us. Your CSMs can help you then access the tools. And you need to reach out to us so we can integrate them for you. But if you're new, then you should do what, Peter?
Well, check out the screen right there. So we've got a QR code that you can click on. That's my cell phone number, actually, my email address. We would love to talk with you. We'd love to show you the different tools and features. Kept it very light today. And the reason for that is a lot of times what we love to do is we love to sit down and talk with you and understand what your goals are in terms of what you're trying to accomplish, why either the innovation platform is important to you, why AI tools are important to you, or in the best scenario, how those two things collaborate. And it's going to be a little different for everybody. And so we love to understand what your use case is and show you a very personal approach to how you might achieve your goals. And so if you'd love to set up a time with us, then we would love to hear from you. And we have a great team that's standing by that would is more than capable to sit down and go over those things with you. And hopefully give you some really good ideas, even if you choose not to go with us, which would sadden us. We'd still have a way of showing you maybe some best practices and what you can do going forward.
Yeah, how to build innovation roadmap in 2026. I mean, it's how many weeks? 4 weeks until we reach the new year. So
we are getting very close.
Yeah.
Very close. But again, leaving here, if you think of anything that sticks in your mind, that resonates, you know, that innosabi fit, connecting, collaboration, knowledge sharing, AI-powered workflows putting it all together into a single innovation ecosystem. If you haven't been able to accomplish that yet, then please reach out. And that's something that we can help you with. That is the roadmap of 2026.
It is. Innovation and AI, so human and AI combined, all in one platform.
Absolutely.
With that, I would say let's call it a webinar. Thank you, Peter, for sharing how we see AI and the different features. Now we saw submission AI, but as you mentioned, we already have creation assistant and research AI. So 2 more that we're keen to show. If you want, please reach out to us. And with that, I would say from my end, thank you for joining, and I wish you a good maybe evening or rest of the day.
Thanks, Hannah. And that's it for me. And just remember, it's a great day to have a great day. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.